In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this burp cloth. Hi there and welcome to my channel. Every single Wednesday I create videos on how to use your sewing machine and simple sewing tips and tricks. I'm going to make this burp cloth using a flannelette and a terry cloth. Now you can use cotton, whichever sort of fabric that you want for the backing, but you're going to need some sort of absorbent cloth like a terry cloth or microfiber cloth. You can make your burp cloth whatever size you would like. I have done mine 10.5 wide and it is 18.5 in length. We can press our fabric so it's nice and flat. Then we're going to place one of our fabrics right sides up, which means the design is facing you. And you're going to get your cloth, your terry cloth or your microfiber fabric, and you're going to press that onto the top. Like so. Now there's no right side or wrong side to terry cloth, it's exactly the same on both sides, so don't worry about that. Just make sure that your fabric, your cotton or your flannelette or whatever you're using is right sides up. So now I am going to get my pins and I am going to pin all the way around, just to keep everything in line and straight. We have everything pinned and we're just about to take this over to the sewing machine. We're going to stitch all the way around this burp cloth. However, I do want you to leave an opening so we can turn this right sides out. So however you want to remember that, you can keep 2 pins of same colour to help you remember, or you can get some clips just to help you remember where to start and where to stop. So I've put a couple of yellow clips just to remind me that I need to keep this gap opening so I can turn this right sides out once it's ready to do so. If your machine has a walking foot, now is the time to put that on. So let's take off this shank here. So the whole thing comes off completely. It can be a little bit fiddly to put your walking foot on, but don't be afraid to use it. So this arm here hooks on to the top bar, and then this white bit here hooks in, and then you can screw this into place. Like so. So once it's complete, it'll look like this. So the white bar hooks into this top bar here, and then this white portion here is just secured on with this screw. Now to sew this burp cloth into place, I have a 90/14 Microtex needle. So I'm going to start at my first clip. So I'm just going to take this out here. And I'm going to drop my presser foot down. And I'm just going to use my foot as my seam allowance. So I'm going to go forward and I'm going to do a reverse stitch in order to lock that stitch into place. And I am going to continue forward again. And then when you come to pins, I would like you to remove them, because do not sew over your pins. They will break. One has broken on me in the past. Luckily I didn't hurt myself, but try to take out your pins. It's not good to ride over them. Now you can see how easy it's making using this walking foot. And it's always good practice to keep your needle in the down position when you're working on anything, because then you can pivot really easily your work in order to get round the corner. If you didn't have your needle in a down position, then you may lose where your last stitch was. It's always great to keep it in the needle down position. And then we can just continue on. Removing pins as you go. And then we're coming to the corner again. It's going to stop and the needle down, and I can freely just move this around like so, and then we can get started again. And you can see how quickly this can get made up. It's very fast. So we're going to continue on. We're going to come to that end position and we're going to leave it in the down position, and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go down this other side here. Needle in the down position, turn your work around, and now we're coming up to that clip, and remember the clip's there to remind us to stop. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to reverse stitch to lock them stitches in place, and then I'm going to cut it off and I'll show you how to finish this burp cloth. So just make sure that all your pins are removed from your burp cloth, and just trim your corners, but make sure that you're going nowhere near the stitches, because you just don't want to cut through the work that you've just done. And also just tidy up some of this area here, just remove some of the bulk. And I'll meet you back here when I'm done. So I've trimmed off all of that bulk, and now we are going to pull it right sides out. So I am just going to grab from the inside and I'm going to pull it all through. So you just want to take some time just to push all of your corners out, and you can do that with a chopstick. Just be careful not to be too hard on it, and you're going to go around all the corners and you're going to push everything through. So before I top stitch my burp cloth down, I'm just going to press it down so it's nice and neat and tidy. And then we're going to close that opening shut. When I do a top stitch, I always make my stitch lengths a little bit longer, so I have it on a 3.5. So I'm just going to start, I'm going to do a back stitch, and then I'm just going to continue. I'm just going to go all the way around my burp cloth and just do a top stitch just to finish everything off and to close up that opening. Notice that I still have my walking foot on. I come to the corner and I pivot with my needle in the down position, and then I just continue on and around. So I'm just going to finish up here and I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. And here you go, one burp cloth complete. It was super easy and it gets finished in no time. I hope you've enjoyed making this burp cloth with me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss seeing me next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.